Pokémon Auto Chess, a new addition to the auto battler genre and a potential competitor to Teamfight tactics. This new Pokémon game is a fresh take on auto battlers where your favorite Pokémon duke it out as you carefully build your team using synergy and wits to outsmart your opponent. On the other hand, we have Teamfight Tactics, a game where your well thought out strategy can be absolutely ruined because some guy with a penguin avatar got lucky and rolled exactly what he needed. Both games have their strengths and weaknesses, so today we're going to break it down to find out which game you should play. But before we get into that, drop a sub to let me know if you're rooting for Pokémon and drop a like if you're rooting for Teamfight Tactics. First, let's talk about the accessibility and ease of learning. Pokémon Auto Chess is beginner friendly, designed to be approachable for casual players with a familiar Pokémon theme. So overall, it's easier for newer players to grasp the basics. This is done through using a simple UI, not having a complex item system, and clearly stating unit synergies. This eliminates the feeling of people being overwhelmed when first starting out. TFT on the other hand has a steep learning curve. The game demands extensive knowledge on item builds, economy management, and meta strategies, making it challenging for newcomers to pick up. With constant patch updates, shifting unit synergies, and intricate gold management, it's easy for newer players to feel overwhelmed. Because of this, I'll have to give the first point to Pokémon Auto Chess for being far more beginner friendly. Next, let's talk about depth and strategy. TFT stands out as one of the most intricate auto battlers on the market. The game rewards not just basic positioning and economy management, but also higher level strategic decision making that sets it apart from its competitors. Additionally, itemization in TFT is highly technical, as the same item can have different effects depending on the champion it's been placed on. Unlike Pokémon Auto Chess, where items tend to provide straightforward stat buffs, TFT's items can completely alter a champion's role. For example, a defensive unit can become a carry with the right combination of items. Pokémon Auto Chess lacks mechanics compared to TFT by having a much more casual and simplified playstyle. While it is fun and you can relatively get a good understanding of how the game works after a few matches, it lacks TFT's complexity, making it extremely accessible but also less rewarding for hardcore strategy gamers. Now, let's talk about every gamer's worst nightmare, RNG. Let's be real, every gamer hates RNG. There's nothing more frustrating than losing a game, not because of skill, but because the game decided you weren't allowed to win. Whether it's getting terrible loot in a battle royale, missing a 90% accuracy move in a turn-based game, or watching your perfectly planned TFT strategy fall apart because the shop refuses to give you the last unit you need, RNG can make or break a match in the most infuriating ways. And when it comes to auto battlers, TFT is basically RNG incarnate. TFT has RNG everywhere, rolling for units, item drops, augments, you name it. You can play flawlessly, make the right econ decisions, and still get screwed over because you just didn't roll the units you needed, while some other guy hits a 3-star carry at level 6. Meanwhile, Pokémon Auto Chess has significantly less RNG. The way Pokémon are given out is more structured, so you're less likely to get randomly locked out of a comp. You're also not as reliant on a random augment or high roll moments to win. This makes it feel much fairer. If you lose, it's more likely because your strategy wasn't good enough, not because the game just refused to cooperate. Now, RNG isn't always bad, it keeps the games fresh and prevents every match from feeling the same. But in TFT, the sheer amount of randomness can make it extremely frustrating, especially when you lose to someone who just got luckier than you. Moving on to the competitive scene. As Pokémon Auto Chess is still new and not widely available, it currently lacks an established competitive scene. Without access for all players, the game is still in its testing phase, meaning there's no official esports infrastructure in place yet. However, this doesn't mean that a competitive scene won't develop over time. Given Pokemon's massive popularity and the success of Pokémon Unite as an esport, it's likely that we'll see a small community-driven tournament pop up first, followed by an official competition if the game gains enough traction. Meanwhile, TFT already has a well-established competitive scene with consistent tournaments, ranked ladders, and even global events. Riot Games has heavily invested in TFT as an esport, hosting seasonal competitions like the TFT World Championships, where the best players worldwide compete for large cash prizes. On top of that, regular in-game ranked seasons provide constant replay value for competitive players, ensuring that there's always something to grind for. Unlike Pokémon Auto Chess, TFT benefits from a mature player base, a refined competitive format, and developer support, which keeps its esports scene active and engaging. Overall, Pokémon Auto Chess is the better choice for most players, especially if you're new to the auto battler genre. It's easier to pick up, less punishing with RNG, and more beginner friendly, making it a great entry point for anyone curious about strategy games. While TFT offers deeper mechanics and thriving competitive scenes, its steep learning curve and constant meta shifts can be overwhelming for new players. If you're just starting out, Pokémon Auto Chess is the perfect way to ease into the genre, and if you find yourself really enjoying it, you can always transition to TFT later for a more complex and competitive experience. Whether you're a casual gamer or a future strategist, both games have something to offer, but for accessibility and fun, Pokémon Auto Chess takes the win. That being said, the beauty of auto battlers is that they're all about learning, adapting, and improving over time. Starting with a more casual and straightforward game like Pokémon Auto Chess allows you to grasp core mechanics like positioning, economy management, and the synergy building without feeling overwhelmed. Once you get comfortable, TFT is there as the next step, offering a deeper challenge for those who want to test their skills at a higher level. No matter which game you choose, auto chess games are some of the most fun, rewarding strategy experiences out there, and there's never been a better time to jump in and start playing. So champions, what do you think? Which game is your favorite? And if you're interested in Pokemon Auto Chess content and want to know how to download and play it, I've got you covered. Feel free to check out my channel for a quick 5-minute guide that walks you through step by step on how to download it. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.